I don't know. I was counting down the kilometers in the end.
Tadej Pogacar says that he's fine, but this doesn't look fine. Wrapped in a scarf, looking exhausted, irritated, and clearly fed up. This isn't the usual smiling, explosive Tadej Pogacar that we're used to. He says it's just a cold, but based on this interview and his performances over the last couple of days, is he much worse than he's actually admitting? As always, we're going to react, break down the video interview, so let's take a look. So firstly, I'm sure most of you are aware, but if you're not, after stage 15 a few days ago, when his teammate Tim Wellens won the stage, Tadej was asked about the rumours that he'd been ill, and he had this to say.
You were a little bit sick yesterday. Are you feeling okay?
I don't know. I feel like half or more half than of the bunch has like a little bit sore throat and blocked nose. So I'm one of them for a couple of days already. But yeah, it's I think it's just too much of air conditioning all the time, too much eating ice, and yeah, it just then it damages a bit the throat and the nose, I think, but all good.
So that was interesting. So he said, obviously, there'd been a lot of sickness going around the peloton. As you're aware, his teammate Pavel Sivakov had been ill and had been on antibiotics. So there was illness within the team. In addition to that, around the peloton, like he says, there has been quite a lot of sickness. People like Mathieu van der Poel have gone home with pneumonia. Remco Evenepoel's gone home with sinusitis, amongst others. And Tadej seems to blame it himself on the air conditioning or the fact that they're eating lots of ice and using lots of ice. And of course, as we've seen the last few days, the weather's been very, very hot and then very, very cold. So those temperatures changing can obviously have an effect on the body. But he says that he's fine. He says he thinks he's coming to the end of it and he feels better. So in theory, he's trying to play this off here, which, to be fair, is exactly what you would do whether you were ill or not. If you were really, really ill here and he wasn't feeling good, he certainly wouldn't tell the world and tell Jonas and Visma that he wasn't feeling good and give them an invitation to attack him over the next few days. He'd be doing everything he could to try and downplay the situation. And that was kind of interesting when we saw some of the interviews, the other interviews that he said over the last few days, because he's quite combative with some of the things he said. He mentions about not gifting any stages to the opposition and that he's paid to win by his sponsors. He also said some things over the last couple of days about being ready for Jonas and Visma, that he was prepared, that they could throw everything at him. He was very bullish and aggressive in what he was saying, which isn't super usually what he says. So if we consider those things in combination, was he trying to put off Visma from launching a full-scale attack at him and giving them any sense of any weakness or chinks in his armour whatsoever? It would certainly make the most sense. But in fairness, most of that is just speculation. However, when we consider his performances over the last couple of days have not been matching up to his statements that he's been making. Actually, it seems quite the opposite. He seemed very defensive on the bike. He's followed a lot of Jonas's moves. So that initial interview about the sickness, the fact that he made those bullish statements, and that he's been riding quite in contrast to that over the last few days, certainly not looking like he did in week 2 in his usual aggressive self, certainly hint that potentially there's something else going on. However, the real crux of this is when we have a look at this post-stage interview from yesterday, and in combination with everything else, certainly gives us something to think about. So let's have a look at this interview. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about.
Hi, today. I was going to say congratulations, but I mean, let's wait a couple of days. You told us...
Instantly, does he not look annoyed and cold to you? He's wrapped up in a hat with a scarf and a big coat, and he's huffing and puffing as the interviewer asks him questions. You know this is going to be good. Right, let's start.
After winning your 4th stage on this year's tour, there wouldn't be no gifts, no freebies. And today it appeared that you didn't really go for it, did you?
I don't know.
And even the interviewer says, you said a couple of stages ago that you were going to be quite aggressive and not give away any stages, and you said you were going to go for this one, but you didn't, did you? So he's already calling him out, and you can tell Pog's annoyed, so this is what he says.
I don't know. I was counting down the kilometers in the end. Of course, Ironman went super good. How
often do you hear Pog say, I was counting down the kilometers until the end? That doesn't sound like him, does it usually? It doesn't look like he's in yellow about to win the Tour de France in a couple of stages and he just managed to stop his rival taking any more time, does it? Instantly, that's a very weird vibe from him. So what else does he say?
I was hoping that I could set the pace that I feel comfortable with. if somebody attack from my wheel, that I can still accelerate. So that's why I had to go certain pace, and Arensman went stronger. So yeah, chapeau to him. He was really strong, super good, and yeah, I had to set the rhythm. So in the end, I was happy with how we rode today, and yeah, it's the mountains are done.
So there's a lot to unpack from that little bit. He said Arensman was stronger than him, which, again, you would never hear him admit that, and it certainly wouldn't usually be true. And then he says he's really happy with how they rode this stage and that the mountains are done. Well, tell his face, because he certainly doesn't look happy at the minute, does he, to me? Tadej Pogacar said he's pleased to be out of the mountains. This is madness. This is usually hyper-aggressive Tadej would be thrilled to be in the mountains and to be able to take time on all his main rivals. So something certainly doesn't seem right here, does it? But in this interview, I'm not convinced it's what he says that tells us the most. I think it's what he doesn't say and his body language. Now, I'm no body language expert, but watch this and you tell me if you think he's pleased to be here. He's not freezing cold and desperate to go to bed. Watch this. His teeth are chattering, and he doesn't look good, does he? That's not a guy that's pleased to be there in top form, feeling fantastic, is it? Come on, there's no way. He doesn't feel great, does he? I know they've just finished on the top of a mountain stage, but come on, he's not happy. He's not pleased to be there. I don't think he feels good.
It was the final mountain stage of this tour, and it looks really calm for you. Did you expect this, or you expect a different tactics from your opponent?
Yeah, we did. We tried to go for the stage today because we felt strong. We were good as a team, but then in the end, some riders think they can sprint from bottom of the climb to the top on 19 kilometers climb, and we just went all out, but then he attacked, and I tried to set the rhythm, and it was Arensman was stronger.
That's crazy to hear him say, right? So he admits, we wanted the stage. We rode for the stage. That's why he attacked at, 14, 15k to go, to try and get rid of everybody, and Jonas came with him. And the fact that he admits that Arensman was stronger is very, very interesting. And sure, it might be that everybody's tired, it's the end of a 3-week, but compare that level of Pog to, say, the Hautacam stage or the TT around stages 11, 12. And he was able to drop Jonas with ease. Sure, Jonas was not particularly having a great day, but he put 2 minutes into Jonas and then another 30 seconds on the TT. And here, he wasn't able to distance him at all when he attacked. So he certainly doesn't seem like he's on the same level that he was even maybe a week ago. And I think that Pog from the Hautacam stage would have easily reeled in Arensman, to be honest with you. And I also think the fact that Jonas managed to gain 2 seconds in the sprint, it might be very, very small time gaps, but Pog will have been disappointed by that. I guarantee you, he would have wanted to get all the way to Paris without giving Jonas 1 second to deal that psychological blow. So the fact that he was kind of out-sprinted on the line is very interesting, even though he pulled the whole way up the mountain and Jonas was on the wheel. And I wonder if potentially that's why he didn't reel Arensman in, because he didn't want to gift Jonas the stage win. But either way, he admits that he wanted the win. So what else has he got to say? He looks like he's desperate to go to bed, doesn't he? Please let me go home, people.
Do you feel strong enough to maybe try for the victory in Paris with the Montmartre?
Well,
No. Do you feel strong enough to go for the victory in Paris? That's a no.
I hope I just come to Paris with the yellow, and then if we have good legs, we have good team for this circuit. But I don't feel like super energized right now to think about Sunday racing. Because it's.
This does not seem like the usual hyper-aggressive Pog, does it? Does this seem like what he was like last year when he was in yellow in the final couple of stages? No, Do you remember the Isilla 2000 stage where he absolutely torched Jonas and Remco to take more time? Contrast that guy to this guy. It's totally different. He's basically saying, I don't even want to think about another stage win. I don't want to think about the points jersey, the KOM jersey, any of that nonsense. I just want to get to Paris with my yellow jersey and go home, people. And again, you might just say that this is because it's 3 weeks into a brutal Grand Tour, and of course, that is correct. But like I say, compare this version of Pog to what we saw last year when he was in yellow. It's not the same guy. It's not the same at all. So something's definitely different. Whether it's, you know, potentially the lingering effects from the crash, maybe. He's so cold, isn't he? He's chattering. Look at him. He's freezing. This guy's ill. He's not well, is he? He's not 100% healthy. There's no way.
Hi, Tadej. You say you are counting the kilometer. Are you tired or are you bored? Because sometimes it seems that this tour doesn't interesting you anymore.
No, I'm obviously tired. Also, it's not been easy tour. People attacking me from left, right, and I was counting down the kilometers because I was just going with my pace and hoping that nobody will attack from behind, and that's it. Sometimes you just count down the kilometers to the finish line, and it's like this.
So he says, I'm obviously tired, and that's why I'm counting down the kilometres to the finish. And again, this is just not the usual Pog that we're used to, right? He's irritable, he's annoyed, he doesn't want to be there. And although we don't have any video footage of this one, we also saw that after stage 18, he had this to say, which was really interesting. I can't wait for the Tour de France to be over so I can get back to normal life. You just want to go home. So I think that kind of tells you everything, doesn't it, really? He certainly doesn't seem himself in these interviews, does he, the last few days? So that's what's left many fans online speculating. It could certainly explain his irritation, lack of explosiveness these last few stages, and his body language in these interviews. It's completely possible he's just worn out, especially with the crash as well. It's been a brutal tour, but the tone here just feels different. So is Pogačar hiding how sick he really is? Or is that just what 3 weeks of defending yellow looks like? Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Is something more going on? Or is this just a rare bad day for the best rider in the world at the end of a 3-week stage race? Make sure you like, comment, most importantly subscribe. It's free, it really helps the channel. Catch you on the next one.